Second verse, same as the first. It's much ado about nothing. I'm Adam.
And I'm J-Rock.
Do you know that reference?
Nope.
That is Falling Apart by Lagwagon. Mm. Okay, so here's what happened. We spent the last half an hour recording an episode about school and education experiences. Me ranting about
Adele
and
Idina Menzel
and Let It Go and how it doesn't match up in music because the timing, she didn't hit the beats properly when she says Frozen Fractals all around. And I stupidly didn't turn the audio portion of our thing back on before, like after we tested it.
Yeah.
So
we just lost a whole podcast.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll stick to the script this time.
Yeah, maybe we'll revisit some of the stuff we thought we talked about.
Yeah.
Sometime. Anyway, but we can give it another shot.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's let's back up. J-Rock is getting close to getting her associate's degree. Mm-hmm. After how many years?
Too many.
How many?
Too many.
How many?
I don't remember the number.
How long you been going to college?
Since I was 16.
Okay, and you are?
30.
So what's 30 minus 16?
I can't do that math in my head.
And you're getting your associate's degree?
I've never been good at math, okay? I got a C in all of my math classes. I passed them, but just barely. It is what it is, okay?
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
Okay.
I know. They're called doctors.
Not all the Tommy boy references.
Hey, I'm just saying, by David Spade math, you should have 2 doctorates by now.
I know, but it is what it is. I had to fart around with all the fun stuff. And then I got married, and then I had kids.
Oh, that's not fun?
It's fun, but it definitely got in the way.
Got in the way of the qualification to be a substitute teacher.
Ugh, it's my personal hell. A substitute teacher in math. That is my personal hell.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that. I actually taught my Algebra 2 class a couple times when I was in high school. Because the substitute didn't get it and people had questions about it and I knew it. So I got up there and taught for a little bit. I did the same thing in chemistry too.
You're the one in college that everybody tries to cheat off of.
I was the one in high school everyone tried to cheat off of too. I was the one in high school that everybody got mad at when when we were graded on a curve and I set the curve so, I don't know if high or low. Like out of 100 points, I'd get like 94 points. And like, okay, well, the curve is 6 and everyone's all upset because, when you get a C, it's not getting up to a B. It's going from a C to a C plus.
Yeah.
I was that kid.
I was that kid in some classes, but definitely not all of them.
But no, you mentioned taking all your fun classes first.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
I mean,
one of my first classes that I took when I was, sorry, I thought I was about to burp, that I took when I first went to college was music appreciation.
Yeah.
Which is a very pointless class.
Yeah. It's the only reason I hate that I did it that way is because now it's made it like finding the motivation to finish is definitely much harder. Because I'm struggling. I'm taking biology 101 and I'm not good in math and sciences. So like we're in the home stretch and it's so much harder because I struggle in this class.
You did all the fun parts first and made that home stretch like you crossed first, second, and third after like 20 feet. And now you got to run the rest of the diamond.
I walked on the treadmill at 3.5 for a good hour and I still have another hour to go. Like, yeah. That's why I don't recommend doing that. I should have paced it a little better.
I mean, I don't know. I think more important is that you don't like take so many electives that some of them don't count.
I did that.
Oh.
No, I literally did that. That's what I'm saying You
didn't do that since you've been with me, though.
No.
Okay, good. I'm making sure I didn't pay for something that didn't count toward anything.
No, by the time you and I got together, I was getting to where there were, like, I I was done with electives. There was no more I could take.
Yeah. Well, you could. It just wouldn't count toward anything.
Yeah, like it would have been
It's a waste
pointless.
of money at that point.
No, since I've been with you, I've only taken like history, science. I don't think I've taken it. Yeah, no, I've taken one math class since we got married.
That's why you should have made your electives like other potentially useful things.
I feel like they were.
Acting.
No.
Not useful.
No, like they counted my psychology as an elective.
You usually have to take a psychology class of some kind. It's
yeah.
I don't know what they counted towards, some kind of like soft science or
they counted it as an elective
humanities
for
or
me.
whatever. Oh.
And then I did, because in the beginning of college, I thought I wanted to go into bereavement counseling. So I took an intro to humanities course to see if that was really what I wanted to do, and figured out, not really.
Humans suck, huh?
You said it, not me.
You didn't disagree with me, therefore.
I definitely don't disagree with you. Humans can be pretty sucky.
Nah, they're fine.
But it is interesting seeing
You just
like
gotta
how
learn
they
how to deal with
tick.
them.
Yeah, I just didn't want to deal with
See, and that's the thing. It's
that's
interesting.
a lot.
It's interesting, but for anyone who's a psychology major, I guess I'll look at the camera. For anyone who's a psychology major, I don't mean to like step on your toes about it, but it's a waste.
Yeah, well, it was more. I didn't like. That's a heavy. I don't know.
It has its place, but the majority, not everybody's becoming like a psychologist making a couple $100,000 a year. It's like, well, it's funny to study people and pick them apart. It's like, okay, what are you going to do with it?
Well, and I didn't want to
And
go
you
to
end up
work
being like a teacher or something.
Well,
It's
I
like,
didn't want to go to work and be like completely emotionally drained every day. Because
that
bereavement counseling,
happened.
you would be like, it's a lot. It's heavy.
Doesn't matter what job you have, it's going to be emotionally draining.
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
it's the whole more or less thing. And there were other jobs that I felt like I could look into that wouldn't be as draining as that. Because initially I wanted to do it with kids, like children's bereavement, but yeah, changed my mind very quickly.
Good. So I'm a little more practical, I think, than most people. Like, at least, like when I was in school, it seemed like a lot of people were going to school for things that they liked. And I'm like, I'm going to school to do something that will make me money.
Oh, see, I tried to meet in the middle. Because I was like, I don't want to go work and hate it. But I also do have to make money and make a living.
Let me tell you this. As somebody who loved math in school, who still loves math, I do math all day. It doesn't make it any easier. It's not like, oh, at least I'm doing something I really love. No,
well, yeah, but you're also like 100% introvert. So if you have to talk to people at all, your battery just whoop, is gone.
The thing is, like in my current job, I don't necessarily have to talk to a ton of people. I mean, I talk to people, but it's not the, like I'm not like in sales or something, or in your bereavement whatever, where it's like talking to people is the crux of my job. It's more of a like, it's a necessary. I was going to call it necessary evil. It's like it's part of my job, but it's not like. One of your tasks is to talk to people, or you're getting paid to talk to people. It's like, no, I'm getting paid to make sure numbers come out correctly.
Right. In order to do that, you have to talk to people.
Sometimes.
And the reason, and the other thing that backs that, I feel like, is you're always miserable when you have to go into the office. Like you come home and it's like,
not always. I like being at home. I like being at home more. Well, yeah. I like being at home because I don't have to deal with the travel. Anyway, we're getting kind of off topic here
again.
So yeah, our last off topic was more fun. I like getting to rant about Adele.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
Oh, I'll squeeze it in.
Yeah, you will find a way.
It's a stance I hold very that is very important to me.
Yeah. Okay, so we know you like math.
Yes.
What else was your favorite?
I liked chemistry. That was all math. I know. But it's like observable math. We get to do, like when you get to do the experiments and figure out, oh, well, this thing turned light pink because of this much of whatever thing you put into it. I don't know. I like it. I think I like it because it explains a lot. Like, okay, for instance, let's go back to music. There's math in music. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a reason why, you may not notice it, but if I were to play you something in something crazy like 5/4 time, you'd be able to tell something doesn't sound right. Mm-hmm. I can tell you why it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, but does it matter why?
Yeah, it does, because then you know how to fix it.
Well, I mean, you're not going to go out and rewrite the song. Like, if an artist puts it out, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I can. I can tell people not to listen to it because it's written in 5/4 time. I can tell them because they don't hit the beat right on Frozen Fractals.
And nobody listens to you because you're a nobody. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it does nothing.
Thanks for the ego boost. Well, thanks for supporting me, wife.
A lot of people tend to think like, oh, I'm going to change people's minds. And it's like, no, you're not. What I'm saying is that my mind won't be changed. And,
I fortified myself, even though that fort may be really small. Nothing's getting through it.
Anyway.
When the wave of bad music comes flowing through, my fort's just standing there, it's blowing right past me. And like, no, I can withstand Justin Bieber thanks to the power of math.
Okay, so math and more math.
Yeah,
Was
math.
there anything outside of
science-based math? What else did I like? I like geometry.
That's more stinking math.
Yeah, but it's shapes.
I mean, it's definitely more tolerable.
You need it for things like architecture.
Yeah, no, geometry was the one thing I actually did well in with math. But I think I can be a visual person, so I could actually see. I don't know. But even then,
I don't think you would have liked the parts of like, can you measure the angles given like 2 sides and 1 angle? Can you measure the rest of the triangle? Could you draw it?
Nope.
See, that's one thing I liked.
Count me out.
Yeah, I liked that.
No.
I don't remember how to do it all, but there is a way to calculate it and figure out like, oh, if I have 3 sides, here's how it's going to be put together. Like I could draw it, like give me 3 lines and I could draw the triangle that it would make and it would fit, even though I hadn't like. We
are so different.
Well, it's again. I like the practical stuff.
I know.
That's why, and I'll jump to this one real quick. My favorite class, I say favorite, the most useful class I took in high school was keyboarding, typing, because it's the one I still use today.
Yeah, no, I know.
I still use all the stuff. We're teaching our oldest, or I'm teaching my oldest I'm teaching our oldest, there we go, to type. And I go back to what I used that helped me, with the muscle memory to learn how to type. Yeah. So yeah, that class was useful. Like, and I use it in my job when I'm writing emails, yelling at people for not doing their jobs correctly. Or for asking me, why does this audit not look right? Well, it's because accounting doesn't know what they're doing. That's also why I got a degree in accounting, so I can tell the accountants why they're wrong. That's not a lie. But anyway.
Funny. No, we're so opposite.
Yeah. Real quick. Did we ever talk about like our educational histories, journeys, adventures?
First time we did. But we haven't this time.
If only it were possible to make a good video. I'm just kidding.
I'll leave now. Goodness.
Okay, so the reason I brought that up is in the first attempt on this video, we talked about that. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get there without saying we attempted this before. Trying to come across as a little more genuine. Instead,
it is genuine. We did the first time. Okay.
You don't have to be that genuine. You have to come like this. That's why I said come across as genuine.
It's not genuine if you're just coming across as genuine.
If you're too okay, let me tell you this. If you're too genuine with people, not to get political, that's how you don't get reelected in 2020. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. So, your educational Oregon Trail, so to speak.
Oh, I was homeschooled up until 16, graduated, and then went into college.
Graduated
High school.
High school.
Yeah, at 16 and then went into college.
Did you actually like take a high school?
No. All the school required is literally for my mom to write on a piece of paper my full name, has graduated from high school, put the date on it, and have it notarized. That was it.
It's funny. It's funny. I was going to say, man, how are they letting any of that go by? And then I think, you know what? I remember the kids I went to high school with and the ones that graduated. that diploma was just as pointless.
Yeah,
So
it's stupid.
Well, I mean, it didn't mean anything. It didn't get you anywhere. It didn't mean anything. So some of the kids, I'm like, there's no way you graduated.
Yeah.
Like I saw what you did.
Yeah. No,
you can't spell to save your life, and apparently you're,
Yeah.
you've achieved this. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that is my background. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine's a little more. Well, you said was not as. What was the word you used?
I thought yours was more conventional than mine, but you said it wasn't, so I just agreed with you.
Let's let everybody decide if this sounds conventional.
Okay, and then we'll get back to my favorite subjects.
Okay.
Completely skipped.
Sorry. Well, we'll get back to your favorite subjects, and we'll get into kind of what's going on, like overall, what your experience was in college. Okay. So my apparently more conventional educational I gotta find a better word than journey,
Background,
path, adventure, saga. There we go. My educational saga. I went to public school for kindergarten and first grade, but I was put with all the second graders. And then my dad was in the Air Force. We got shipped to England for a little while. I didn't go to school there, but I had school work to do. And I did that. So I was kind of homeschooled during that time. Moved back here. They put me in third grade, which I was a grade ahead going into third grade. Did third grade, fourth grade in public school. My parents pulled me out due to experiences with the teachers that I had. And then I was homeschooled until I was 13. Started going to community college. And then at 16, I decided high school looked kind of fun. So I went to high school for a couple of years.
You see, but at least you went to high school, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but my path to high school was public school, homeschool, community college, then high school. Like you tell me where that's it's like, oh yeah, perfectly normal path. You jumping all over the place, perfectly normal.
I guess I see what you're saying, but
yeah, no. And the thing is, I went to high school knowing like this is it's a joke. It's not going to last long. It's not that important. I remember my senior year when they were doing class rings, and the salespeople are trying to be like, this ring, it'll signify that you and your friends will be friends forever. I'm like, I'm like,
no.
I was like 17 or 18 at the time. I'm thinking I'm not going to see these people after we graduate. And sure enough, like that summer was the last time I saw like the bulk of them.
I feel like most people make their friends in college, and those are the ones that tend to stick around. Well,
I mean, you get the ones like if you're friends in high school and you all like everybody went to the same places or followed similar paths, then you stick together. But no, it's like, I mean, some of them I saw, because I went back to community college after I graduated high school, and some of them went there, but generally, I mean, everybody went their own ways. I'm like, they're trying to sell rings. Like I know. No, people aren't going to be together.
No.
Yeah. You're going to look at that ring. Oh yeah, this is great. Maybe wear it a year and then it's going in a box and you'll never see it again. Mm-hmm. Just like you're never going to see any of those friends again. Yeah. So for anyone that's still in high school, those friends are going to be gone.
Sorry.
Yeah. I hate to be a downer about that, but realistically, everybody follows their own paths in life and you're never,
it's not a bitter thing.
No, it's part of growing up. Not everybody's interests are identical. Not everybody's circumstances are identical, and there's gonna be some variation in your paths. You may stick together for a little while, and may converge again at some point. Mm-hmm. But it's not gonna, you're not gonna be friends with those people like you are when you're a kid in school.
No, it's different.
It, for whoever that Jostens ring guy to say like, oh yeah, this will show us your friends are like, no, they're not. No. And I knew that back then. I knew that going in. That's why, I mean, like that's why I looked at it as, oh, I just went to have fun. Yeah. Because that's all I was there for, was to make friends.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about friends later.
Yeah.
A whole podcast
on that. Its own thing. But anyway, okay. So I've had the Stranger educational saga trilogy. I had the one that ended in the Battle of the Five Armies kind of trilogy. It's like, this really? Yours was more of a ends with Return of the King.
I'm fine with that. I get Aragorn. What? Am I right, ladies?
Wait. Okay, I'm confused.
That movie ends with Aragorn. It's all about him, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over here. Huh? You said a fine piece of A?
No.
That sounded like what you said.
No, that's not what I said. I mean, it's valid, but that's not what I said.
And all I'm thinking is I'm sitting over here looking like I ate Aragorn. So, what?
It's a mental image of that, because you two have like kind of the same thing going on right now. Got my own Aragorn right here. Just too much lamba spread.
Too much what?
Is it lamba spread? Is that how you pronounce it?
Are you saying lambus bread or lamba spread?
Bread.
Oh,
like the stuff.
I don't know. Potatoes? That part I know.
No, the bread.
I don't know. Maybe I'm eating too much.
We need to move on.
I ate too much chicken, like the one guy in the part where what's his name? Pippin or Mary singing.
Oh,
anyway. And the guy's just like chowing down on a whole rotisserie chicken.
Oh my goodness, I love Lord of the Rings.
Dinner and a movie sort of thing. Anyway, okay. So your favorite classes, and then kind of like your overall thoughts on school.
So my favorite classes, where I liked most of my art classes, art theory was probably my favorite.
Man.
What? What? It was good. Sorry. It was a good one.
Or I made a joke a while back, and not on here, but when I was sometime in my 20s. I think I went on some Facebook tirade.
Sounds about right.
About how art history was the most pointless degree. Like, it's such a waste. Like, art history, who cares? And then I found out one of my friends from a long time ago got a degree in art history. I was like, maybe she didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
maybe that's why I don't talk to her anymore. I don't know.
Art history and art theory are two different things.
I know, but art theory to me is like right up there with art history. You're like,
oh, it's actually really, really interesting, because it's the whole, you're dealing with the color wheel, negative space, like all of those things. I don't know. It was interesting. Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
How many times have I talked to you about warm and cool colors and you didn't know what I was talking about?
I didn't say I was good at it. I just said I enjoyed it. You asked what I enjoyed. You didn't ask what I was good at.
I enjoyed it. I don't know what it's about, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I still have some of the things that I did in there. Loved that one. Loved my meteorology class. Oh. Only reason I didn't get an A in that one was because I had just gotten pregnant. So I was so
Blaming
sick.
the kids, just like always.
No, like I was so sick. One, I was so sick. And two, the professor was less than professional. So the girl that I sat next to, he was constantly hitting on. And she made the mistake of saying something about getting a divorce. And he, like, I kid you not.
That was his opening?
No, he literally walked over to her and he's like, congrats on the divorce. That is awesome. And it was like, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. But the class itself was a lot of fun. Like, I loved it. And then Native American history was great. I got extra credit in that one because my mom planned a road trip out to Wounded Knee and a lot of the things we were talking about. So you let me write a paper about it. And then I got extra credit, which is good. And then I forgot my philosophy class was actually a lot of fun. So those were probably my favorite classes.
Wounded Knee.
Oh my goodness.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
No, it was good. It was a really good class. I had a really good professor he was so good at playing devil's advocate. We all came out of it having no idea where he actually stood. Like, we had no idea what his actual opinions were.
Sorry. Like, we have no idea where I actually stood, like, behind the podium, in front of the chalkboard, out in the hall.
Oh, like his opinions. We had no idea. Like, we didn't know how he felt about Custer. So, I don't know. Those were all my favorites.
Makes a good pie. Custard pie.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's all food.
Okay, what was your second question? Because I've already forgotten.
Just kind of we're running up on time. So, like, kind of what's your thoughts of school in general? Like, is it worth it? Is it a waste of time? What should you avoid? You know, let me ask you some maybe we need to go to a speech class. Let me ask you some specific questions. Man, I don't know why it's so hard to say. Hard to talk at my old age. Okay, for instance, you said you took a bunch of fun classes early on.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck with the hard stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Would you recommend that route for other people, or would you say, no, get the hard, boring stuff out of the way, get discouraged about school early on because it all sucks, you don't enjoy any of it, so that all you have left is the fun stuff? Like, which way would you'd say go that way?
That's how I would do it. And two, the stuff that I struggle with isn't going to be what other people struggle with. So whatever you struggle with, I would take first. So if you struggle with the electives and you're more like where you do well with the math, the science, all of those things. The important stuff. Yeah, save those for last and just get all the other stuff out of the way. And I would definitely if you don't take a speech or communications class, then I would definitely take a theater class because I think it helps with your confidence.
Just take a speech class or a communications class.
One of those three.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
Like, learn from it. Like, take something from it because that can help you a lot in your confidence and stuff. I'm glad I took them. Like, I don't want to go into theater, but it's definitely, for me, something I look back on and I go, I'm glad I took that. It benefited me a lot. Then school overall, I don't think it's ever a waste. I mean, knowledge is the only thing we take with us when we die, so I don't think it's ever a waste.
Some of it can be a waste.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you make it a
theater
waste,
friends.
yeah.
Just kidding. No, I think I'm a little more practical than you are when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, I would be the kind to say, no, don't waste time on like a theater class. Spend that because it's going to cost you money.
Well, I said if you don't take a communications or speech class, then that's what I would look at.
Oh, well, I think speech is required. It's required for me anyway. I had to do like a public speaking, like get up there and give 3 speeches and argue with the teacher when she says this was supposed to be a what'd you call it? This is supposed to be a persuasive speech. I'm like, you didn't say persuasive. No, but the last one was persuasive, so this one needs to be too.
Okay.
It's like this lady needs to take a communications class.
Okay. Well,
also,
her
arms look like a leather couch. Okay.
They've changed the requirements, so I don't know.
I don't think they'd get rid of that unless it's a bunch of like basement dwelling.
Well, we've talked about this off camera, but the requirements that they just changed, I think they might change that.
So dumb.
I'm just saying.
Like, no, make people get out there. Like, it's okay to be put in a situation where you're not 100% confident and figure it out.
Yeah.
You always hear like someone getting thrown to the wolves or getting thrown in the deep end or, thrown into something. I don't know why we throw people like that, but I don't know who's strong enough to throw them either. But no, I think it's good because, I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn to, that's the only, at least to me, in my experience, that's the only way you're going to learn to really get good at overcoming those sorts of things. If you're constantly if you constantly take classes for things you're already good at, you're not going to learn anything. Yeah. But if you take classes on things that you're not experienced in or things that you lack confidence in, if you go into it with the mindset of, I can't fail, I have to succeed, you'll find a way to succeed.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just be open.
That's why, like, even like for you taking this biology class, I know, and I know that I do the thing where it's like, okay, if this means this, then what does blah blah blah? You know, I know I'm putting, you know, making you solve it. And I know you're probably thinking, I don't need you lecturing me like a teacher. I just need you to help me, you know, solve this problem. But like, that's how you get to the point where you can solve it without somebody's help.
I know.
And then you become that smart person that everybody.
About the like what we're talking about. I don't care if pill bugs like cornstarch or salt. Like, I don't care. Then
you're going to be upset. Like, why are all these roly-polies in my house? Maybe it's because of all the cornstarch you left out. Or maybe it's because of all the, what was the other thing?
Oh my goodness. Sand.
Cornflakes?
Sand.
You didn't say sand the first time.
Yes, I did.
You said cornstarch or...
Sand.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this. I don't remember you saying sand.
Yes.
Okay. In any case.
Like, I just don't care. It's not helping me at all. Like, I don't care that the water turned a different color because of this chemical. Like, I just don't care.
It might come in handy one day.
It would come in handy if I was going into, veterinary medicine, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Maybe you will.
No.
Maybe you'll have a kid that will.
Then
Mom, can you help me with this? Sorry, I don't do chemistry. I don't do biology.
We'll find you a tutor.
Oh man. Our poor kids.
If I can't help you, then sorry.
Mommy, didn't you take this class before? Yeah, and I hated it. I don't retain any of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like we're out of time. So, any final thoughts?
Do something. Trade school, college, free classes from the college, from the library. Just do something.
Okay. My last thought would be, if you go into something with the attitude that you can't fail, you'll succeed. When failure is not an option, when success is the only option, you'll find a way to succeed. And then that's when people will think you're smart, and that's when you actually will be smart.
Anyway,
just saying. Hey, I could say the opposite. You'll fail at everything. Get somebody else to help you. What kind of advice is that?
Just be gentle with yourself. You'll get there.
Be hard on yourself. People are a little more durable than you think. Yeah. All right. All right. That's it for this week. Hopefully this one actually works. See you next time.
Bye.